Speaking about
See?
it. Now.
What? Oh, yeah. So, hello. Welcome. Good morning from us. We are early in the morning for us, and but yeah, welcome to our early morning read. Hopefully, you are all well and good where you are. Oh.
There you go.
Anyway, so today,
You might want to turn your sound down on that one, Dom. All the technical joys of trying to operate things first thing in the morning. Because it is early morning for us here in Australia, so it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to call it. I'm not normally a morning person, but I really did want to do this stream at this time to reach anyone who's in the Northern Hemisphere. So hello to if you're up and joining us from the Southern Hemisphere, and good evening if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. We're good to go. We're going to do. Good morning, Michelle. How are you, darling?
good evening.
We're going to do our normal Twin Flame update read, and then if you got questions for us, drop them in the chat. And at the end of the reading, we'll do some personal readings.
Yeah, do some quick reads.
Yeah. Radio. So what we wanted to focus on today is we are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Yeah. That's coming up, like it goes retrograde on the 9th of September, but in the lead up to that, we have a bit of a shadow phase, which we've been in for a minute. But what happens is then Mercury slows down through the sky just before it moves into changes direction and goes back the reverse. Now we've got this retrograde is going to be in Libra, which is all about balance. And haven't we just been reading so much about balance in the last little bit about everything coming into balance?
Yeah.
And so the big focus is going to be about balanced communication. And the other thing, hi Joni.
Hello, Joni.
The other thing that the retrograde brings is people coming back from the past, or situations coming back from the past. So we're looking at return of people, but we're looking to balance communication. Now that retrograde is going to start in Libra, and then it's going to move into Virgo as it progresses. So we're going to go from that balanced communication state.
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. As we move through balanced communication. So the kicker on this one is really going to be setting ourselves.
Self-communication.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best, hey?
All right, cool.
Hopefully Queen of Swords doesn't show up again.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so the real focus for Mercury retrograde this time is looking at balanced communication. So what we really want to be doing is making sure that we're balanced within ourselves to be able to manage the retrograde, because we don't want retrograde being a big course correction for us all where communication goes haywire. And you know, with that lovely Libra energy, if we get ourselves sorted first, we're going to be set and ready to go with when the retrograde actually plays around. The shadow energy should start to give you a taste of what the retrograde will be all about. So if communication comes up, communication from the past or any past issues, work really hard in this shadow energy just to be able to, get yourself ready and balanced for whatever the retrograde energy brings up for you. Hi, Joni, I see your question there. And if you just want me to do an energy read, darling, just more than happy to just grab some cards for you, sweetheart, and see what we've got going on. Righto. So I'm going to dive in and see what we've got for our divine feminine playing out right now. Let's have a look.
Let's do this. Lisa.
Should be. I'm not normally a morning person, but I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I've been looking forward to doing this. Righto. No, Ricky's normally the one who's up and moving and going, and he puts all the lights on and says, "You're getting up. It's happening."
Yeah, you walk back in and she's making sure the inside of her eyelids are doing well.
Oh, look, our first card out is the Fool, which is lovely. What have we got as our, how we're showing up? The Ace of Wands. We've got the Six of Swords.
We can do that
in the
for you,
soul
Ashley.
space. I don't know how to get these straight because it's like a bit of a.
That's all right. People can move.
Move their screens.
Work with us.
Balance communication. We've got the Ace of Swords as our challenge. We've got the Hierophant as the advice. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Righto. We've got the likely outcome, the Two of Cups. This is already cracking, isn't it? Like, this is really interesting already. What have we got at the bottom of the deck? We have got the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Cups, Temperance, Justice, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Cups. You can probably hear it already. I'm like pumped that these cards have come out this way already, because the push from the universe really is. I grabbed 7.
Oh, you have to grab another 2.
I think I should.
Because
Should I?
waves come in 3s.
They do.
So
they
you
move
gotta
in
do
3.
it
So you reckon that's a sign?
I think that's a sign.
Yeah. Righto. And talk about signs. Yesterday, I was just driving along and I was following a motorbike, and its number plate was TF, which straight up I went twin flames, and the number on it, I'm going to get this wrong, 592 or 529. However that number played out, but I looked it up as the angel number, and it said something along the lines of, don't worry if you're traveling solo right now, you've got everything you need to get yourself to the next level. It was a perfect twin flame message for that traveling in, when you're in separation and you're learning and growing. So I went, that's an awesome message for our community. It's like, however this is playing out individually right now, Spirit is giving everything that you need to bring you into alignment. And look at this here, 8 of Pentacles straight up. This is mastery, divine feminine. This is all about, you've chosen your path and you're refining. And it doesn't matter that you're doing this process solo at the moment. The universe just sent a great big message saying, whatever you're doing individually at the moment, you can do it. Yeah. You've got everything you need on your twin flame journey to be able to bring you into alignment and bring you into, as we move into September, which I keep saying is this destiny month. Like, there's so many alignments that push towards destiny. And now we're in that shadow of it. So it's like the work that you do under the next few days about really bringing yourself into balance. And I saw the Temperance card come out. I was like, yeah, this is going to be the push for the next little bit. And things slow down. Like, as Mercury starts to move towards its retrograde, it slows down in the sky. And we're under this beautiful energy of Libra as well, which is all about being social and balanced and friendly. It's a perfect time to form mastery around what you want to play out in the retrograde. We have so much more control of this. People freak out when Mercury retrograde comes around, because its reputation is it comes in like a wrecking ball. Like, things come back up from your past, communication goes haywire, maybe your computer or your car breaks down. It's got this reputation of being a bit of a wrecking ball when it goes retrograde. But the kicker of it is, and this is why I track universal energies, is if you know it's coming, you can prepare. And this is quite literally the 8 of Pentacles. This is mastery. Mastery over energy, mastery over your walk in life. You are way more in control of the journey than you'd ever give yourself credit for. And here, look, as the universe brings down all of its, we're sitting in pennies from heaven right now. The fact that we've gathered together this morning to talk about what's going on. So I'm getting information on what I need to do to make the most of what the divine brings my way. Now, the 4 of Cups, it's like it has a bucket load of meanings, but I created this one specifically because I always thought it's active discernment with the divine, right? So over here, I talk about it a lot. You've got your twin flame connection safe. You've got your 2 of Cups there. Sorry, it's hard for me. The screen, it's really weird. The screen reverses when we go live for some reason, so I'm looking at things back to front. I've got my twin flame mirror. It's a little bit weird. But here, look, you've got your twin flame connection is safe and sound there, right? yes, you'll have your cup that's knocked over, which is, the lessons that we have to go through, the struggles, the separation. But over here, you've got the oneness. So you've got to, like, under these Four of Cups energies, when the Four of Cups comes around, I actually don't mind seeing it because it brings about processes of discernment. It allows you to, know that you're way more in control of the journey than you'd ever. You're not at the mercy of a Mercury retrograde. The panic that comes around when Mercury goes retrograde is not a necessary panic when you have mastery, right? When you do the work required and you understand, right, I'm in the shadow of it. What's coming up is I need to, it's happening in Libra, which means that the likely thing that Mercury retrograde will do is knock communication out of balance. And the conversation we just had, because we always sort of talk about what's going on first.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, we have a bit of a brainstorm. Okay. Is to go, well, all right, in this next shadow energy, the likely thing that's going to happen, and what's been rattling our cage lately, is that it's communication misfires or things are misunderstood. So it's now going, take extra care that what you're saying and what you're doing, how you're presenting yourself, has extra care attached to it. That's mastery, is going, I know what's coming at me, right? With the Six of Pentacles, I'm going to use mastery of understanding who I am and what's at play around me to make sure that I don't get knocked out of balance, that I can kick back into neutral as quickly as I can. How do I do that? Discernment, understanding the journey that I'm on, connecting with the divine as honestly as I can, when I can, and practice the mastery that you're walking through as a twin flame. Your journey, that's your soul ascension journey, is to understand the true nature of love, the true nature of the divine, the true nature of self. So anytime a process like this comes around, anything that's not in alignment, and particularly with Libra, because it's all about the balance, it's going to get shaken up under a Mercury retrograde. So prepare. That's the crux of that message, and I'm sure that those three cards came in extra for a reason. Next level, again, we've got our Knight of Pentacles. He is he's so reliable, isn't he? He gets up and every day and he works. That's his job. He doesn't shirk responsibility, and even if it's just the only thing he gets up and does every day is gets up and plods, he plods. You just can rely on him to get up every day and do what's required in the day. He's not dynamic. He's not fast-paced. He's not charging into the next sequence of life. He's getting up going, what has to happen today? What do I need to get through today? But look what he's got to get through today. Victory and justice. Now, what's interesting about these two energies, like the Knight of Pentacles, it's all the work that you've been doing, all the plotting, all the moving through the stages. And now it's like going, well, when you get success and when you get justice, is that when you stop, right? No, the Knight of Pentacles keeps moving. He starts to process the lessons of victory and he starts to process the lessons of justice, which is like, it's an interesting energy to want to have to tap into, because over here we've gone, to get through your Mercury retrograde, you're more powerful than you give yourself credit for, right? Here's mastery. Let's prepare for what's coming. And then the Knight of Pentacles goes, well, I'm absolutely prepared. I know exactly what I've got to do. I've got to get up every day and make sure that I'm aware of what's happening around me, and I'm going to do what's required for victory and success. Now, the other energy of Mercury retrograde, and particularly in Libra, is a balancing of the scales. Now, it's particularly, and we've got the Temperance card coming up too. I think this is a really interesting push from the universe, because Mercury retrograde will bring scenarios back from the past, right? And what twin flames are working towards, first and foremost, you're working for your soul ascension journey, right? But the gift of that is a return of the 3D aspect, or where you get to work together on mission. Now, this is where justice comes in, the balancing of the connection. And this is a very 3D karmic justice. Now, we've got Saturn moving retrograde through Aquarius, which will finish that run by the end of October, which will, we're fast chasing down those dates. Now, Mercury retrograde is the kind of energy that can kickstart this justice process, moving into victory and moving into justice as a reward for the consistency with sticking to your journey. So far, it feels like a progressive message, doesn't it? It's like going, we can really truly set ourselves up to align with our unions under these particular energies. And there's a bucket load of destiny energies about to unleash. I tell you, we're in the shadow of Mercury retrograde, but then there's a couple of, they call them semi-sextile energies. And normally you wouldn't talk about them. They're like minor influences, but there's 3 in a row and they're sitting with the North Node. So it's like these little destiny course corrections that are coming up, and they're all coming up right before the retrograde, and they're all coming up before the harvest moon. They're all coming up before all of these other transits. So to be fully in mastery now and doing everything that you can to keep balanced. So be conscious of communication, be conscious of how your masculine feminine energy dance is playing out, be conscious of the devil and the divine dance that's playing out. Awareness is your I want to call it like hyper awareness of the way that you move through the world and the mastery that you've attained so far on your soul ascension journey, because this is the energy you want to sit in, this victory energy of having the blessings come to. And look, in this 6 of Wands, I put the foot up on the stone, because it's like you climb and you climb and climb, and it's like that victory pose of actually having your foot resting on something solid and having and claiming a victory on something as what can be as volatile as a twin flame journey, and have justice turn back around and reward you for your efforts under the 9 of Pentacles, which is going from here on. It's just consistent energy. It's not volatile like it has been. It's consistent into what you want it to be. Next level of energy. Not even kidding, are we? I'm not sure what sequence they had, but I don't care for these 3, because look what we've got. We've got the Temperance card, and we've been having that come up pretty consistently, because that is what's playing out right now. When I talk about mastery of twin flames, mastery is being able to sit in balance. Legit, it is the neutral point, and I harp on it and harp on it and harp on it, because it's the place where the universe creates from. Now, the mastery that you're able to pull off, the mastery you're able to achieve under this next little sequence, look what the kicker is. The Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Now, I love this as a balanced energy. It's a masculine and it's a feminine, and it's a very, very pure exchange. Now, this is a healthy way for your twin flame connection to show up. Does the feminine probably know a little bit more about the journey at this point? Yes. Yeah. Do we want the masculine showing up with a very, like, I love the Knight of Cups. He's just untainted. What he's got to offer is very pure and very healthy, and it doesn't come with a bucket load of, there's nothing toxic or scary about the Knight of Cups. He's not a fish in a cup when we've got the Page of Cups, so we don't mind when the page shows up. We just know that there's a bit more work to do. But when the Knight of Cups meets the Queen of Cups, that's actually a pretty healthy place for unions to come back around, because the Queen of Cups she's the most love someone can feel in tarot, and this one's probably the most pure offer, if I can put them that way. Yeah. This one fronts as an offer towards the Queen. And I'm saying, the way I'm reading this is what comes towards you, or the push from the universe, is a very, very pure offer towards the Queen of Cups. And how do you get there? Balance. What have we got coming up right now? Mercury retrograde in Libra. Oh gosh, speak. It's early in the morning in Australia. I trip over my words any given day, but communication, balanced, get it right, spit it out. So balancing masculine and feminine energy, but it's being hyper aware of what's playing out around you as well, because that mastery energy is a push. So it's, not, if a pain cycle rises, work your way through it, kick yourself back into neutral as quickly as you can, because the push from the universe is wanting to make a very, very pure offer here. There's nothing to be scared about this push into balance for for unions to come about under this energy is where you go, I don't have to put you back in the oven. Let's just that's our baseline. This here is a baseline for unions to start to kick forward. I really like it. Now, I want you to understand that I'm seeing it as a push from the universe, and we're looking more into September where these kind of energies manifest, and it will be on the back. Mercury in Libra is this big balancing act. So I'm harping on these points a lot because I'm really feeling how significant all those alignments are. That to continue to push these ideas about balance cannot be overstated. So if I'm getting stuck on the point, it's because I really want to ram that idea home that you're not at the mercy of this retrograde if you do the work required and you keep your awareness around the fact that it's designed to knock you out of neutral. That's its job. It will, anything that's unbalanced, it will push you out on that tangent. And because you know it and you know what to do to course correct, you know that when those misalignments happen, there's a couple of astrological pushes to help you course correct. So course correct with the universe so that you can take the full fruit of this retrograde that's coming. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the direct push. Look at this. The Fool, the brand new journey, the starting out with and it's leap of faith stuff, right? The Fool just follows his feet. He knows that the next part of the journey might have a bit of a steep climb involved. He knows that he could possibly fall off the side of the cliff if he doesn't trust the push of the divine. The Fool is the most trusting character in tarot, honestly. Love this energy because it's you walking with the divine fearlessly. You just know that if you keep taking the steps, and even if the climb is upwards at times, even if there's a fear of falling off the edge, you just keep taking steps. You just keep taking steps until you get to your destination. You know there's a destination in mind. The divine has a destination in mind. And I sit with you in here, Divine Feminine, like fear gets me sometimes and I step out of full energy and feel like I'm going to fall off a cliff. And I have to course correct too. Like I'm not immune from it. And I sit with you in going, and you too, hey Ricky, you sometimes feel like you're going to fall off a cliff and have to course correct. But to see this push from the universe, a direct push to sit in the energy of the Fool, is saying that it wants to start you on a new cycle because it has a destination in mind. And now what we've got to do is trust that the next part of the path is just going to, like, it rises up to meet you. You don't even need to guess where the next step is. It just kind of rises up under your foot. And we've been talking a lot about how the universe has been putting signs out in front of us. Yeah. Like, it's like the path is given to you because all the signposts are so, they're like neon lights at the moment. You don't even have to guess where the next step is. It's like just
fucking lights in Vegas.
It's lit up like Vegas at the moment. So fear not. Keep trusting that the signs are sending you on the path as you're supposed to be traveling it, and stay as lighthearted as you possibly can while you do your work. If a pain cycle rises up, you know what to do. You trust the journey, and it's like you're not going to fall so far from the path that the divine won't be able to get you to your destination. Why I'm saying I still think that there's a couple of pain cycles to go is because I know these course correctors are there, and between now and when these more destiny moments want to play out, it's going to rattle anything that's not in balance, and if you feel it, acknowledge it. And it doesn't matter if it's yours or if it's his. If you feel it, it's yours. Let's just all accept that. If you feel it, it's yours, and it doesn't matter where the source of it is because you're both always connected. So if you have these moments, you know what to do. It's not going to tip you off your path. It's not going to do anything untoward if you deal with it. Lean deep into it. Allow the universe to make the course corrections that it needs to. Like, this is it. This is the mastery side of what we're doing, because what it wants to deliver deliver you into is that victory and that justice, right? That's where it wants you to go. Excuse me. And look what it looks like. It looks like temperance. It looks like balance. It looks like a Knight of Cups and a Queen of Cups. That's a beautiful place to kick unions off from. I'm liking it. Okay, how are you showing up? Passion. Have you, and look, I'm definitely feeling this. I have new passion for the journey, right? It's like different things that are waking up, and it's taking this high road again. So I don't know if you've learned something new, if you've had a new challenge, new struggle, new awakening, that's pushed you right up onto the high road, and it for me it wakes up the journey all over again, and I get a new enthusiasm for how it plays out. This can play out for you as it could be just flat out you passion and desire for your twin. You could just be feeling it as flat out sexual energy. Now, sexual energy and creative energy, they're not, you don't divorce the two. They're both intertwined. Healing energy as well. Some of the most capable healing people on the planet have incredible sexual energy as well. And I've been picking this up a lot around twins at the moment, is that this fire is growing, or this desire is growing, because this is a very 3D expression of the emotional, you feel emotionally connected to your twin, and you feel mentally connected, but you feel sexually connected with them as well. Like this energy is rising up between twins, and the universe is saying, just trust it. Just trust it. It's quite okay to feel hot and heavy for your twin. It's a beautiful thing, to allow that feeling to burn and grow. The kicker is not to let it sway you from your path, right? Go, all right, I accept that sexual energy or desire is a very creative energy. So if it's rising in you, or, you might feel it a couple of different ways, right? It could be a renewed energy for the journey. It could be renewed desire for your twin. It could be renewed desire for yourself. It could be renewed desire in a couple of different ways. We're all sitting on different phases of this journey. Waves are crashing at different times. We're all in different places. However this is manifesting for you, I would embrace it and understand that the universe creates from this base point. The Ace of Wands is fresh creation, and it is often, creative energy is often connected to sexual energy. Do you know, when I think it, like, I don't know why she's really vivid in my mind right now, but I'm feeling a lot of Frida Kahlo's energy. Like, I'm an artist by trade. That's my grounding. That's what I went and studied and whatever. Who's Frida?
Yeah.
Who's Frida? Oh, Ricky,
Frida.
wash your mouth out.
Communication.
You go and wash your mouth. You get some balanced communication in this room. Frida Kahlo, she was a dynamic Mexican artist, and she had you look at hers and Diego's story, it's probably a twin flame journey from way back. But the thing about her is that she was a very sexually charged character, very creatively charged character, and she had the life lessons that woman went through as she kept finding a renewed spark for her life and the love that she held for Diego. It's a big, beautiful story. But when I'm seeing this Ace of Wands energy, I'm just feeling Frida's energy, and that that creative and sexually charged energy to move into the next phase of the journey. And look, in your soul space, divine feminine, we've got the Six of Swords. And look, you've got the Fool and the Ace of Wands. I'm talking fresh, brand new energy, right? And then the Six of Swords is leaving the troubled times behind. Your soul really does want to be out of the choppy waters and into the next phase, where you get to enjoy being a little bit more lighthearted, and you get to enjoy that more creative, sexually charged energy. Your soul wants to be out of the fight. I get it. Fully, I get it. It's a bloody mission, isn't it? These twin flame journeys. But here, what we're struggling for is absolute, true clarity, but it's coming. All right, it's coming. So I would be my red hot advice is in the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Now, swords are all about communication, right? And the Ace of Swords is fresh new ideas, fresh new communications, it's clarity and it's focus. So what I'm suggesting is that you're probably going to you might have a few struggle moments in the leading up to the point where these retrogrades kick over. You might have a struggle to let go of the struggle. However, this moment of indecision or doubt plays out, you know what to do with it. You know what to do with it. These are going to be course corrections between now, and the middle of the month. So anything that comes up that feels like it's putting you out of whack, out of balance, course corrections, just see them for that and go, all right, I'm going to lean into it deeper. I'm going to lean into it harder. Spirit is pushing me to learn and grow, getting me ready for my connection, getting me ready for the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Like I'm loving that as a push from the universe. So there might be, I'm just seeing this as a full indicator of what we've been talking about with these course corrections. And I'm not overly concerned by it. I in the grand scheme of where you've been and what you've gone through and what's about to transpire, this feels minor, like in comparison. Because look, the advice from Spirit is that you are leveling up into a higher level of connection, a higher level of commitment. Now, the Hierophant is an ascending journey, so this is not your final destination, right? It could be. It could play out a couple of different ways because we're all in different phases of the journey. It could be that somebody gives you particularly pertinent advice about how to manage the next phase of your journey. But I'm actually seeing it more as being that you level up in the connection. Depending on what phase that you're on, this could be you and the divine leveling up. This could be you and your twin. Like, I'm not really focusing on that back set of stairs anymore. It's like kind of it's you and just the stair in front of you. And my gut feeling, like I said to you, the next time you go through this cycle, ta-da, will be you have to do it together, right? You have to do it together. The next time you go through a round of big doubt and indecision, this leveling up is not just you on your own. I feel like this is, that you sit here like this, that the Hierophant almost gets replaced by the Two of Cups in this. This is just how I'm reading it. Like, it's just how I'm seeing the energy. Is the Hierophant is you leveling up. I'm just going to take it as that at this point. And then what is the likely outcome is that you level up into a level of union or a level of connection. And then what I see, and I said it in the last reading, my prediction is the next time you have to go through something massive is that you have to do it together. And that's fun, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah. toe.
No, it's all good. It's all good. And honestly, we
don't run.
We don't run, and it's like the reason. Huh?
We're learning not to run.
Yeah, definitely. And then when these leveling up moments come around, it is learning a fresh set of skills. It is going, all right, we're going to level up together, and sometimes it's difficult. So my prediction is that this is, for those that it's relevant to. And I do think that this is, we've got a community of divine feminine who are, tipping closer and closer to this point of bringing this together and starting to, move on this ascension journey where your next phase of it is you have to work it out side by side and continue to ascend together to do what we do as twins, which is be here on mission, and then we'll be ready to help the next wave of people through. Okay, that's our divine feminine. Ricky, what have you got for divine masculine, darling?
How do you want to read it?
Give me the 6 from the bottom again. I want to start there,
2,
and then
3,
you can.
4, 5, 6.
That's from the bottom. Oh, you're going to give me 9, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll give you 9.
And do you want to put the 6 out while I have a look at these?
Sure.
Oh, I see where you wanted the next 3. Do you see? Wait. Oh,
It's a deeper push.
how many have you given me there? Oh, see, look, I took that one.
Yeah.
It is. Look, you can't even make up what's going on here. See this, the universe wants unions. I don't know like how more plainly is like time and time again in these latest readings, we're getting all of the indicators that the universe wants union. And it's like going now that the push on the masculine to pull this together could not be more significant. Now, the King of Cups, he's a healthy character with the way that he, like it's a masculine and it's a feminine balance, right? He's not the Queen of Cups where she's the most loving and inspired, and he's not the Knight of Cups where he openly offers. He kind of sits tall at the top of the tree of the cup cycle, and it's going, I understand that this is something, it's that masculine and feminine alignment, right? It's going the action oriented. I understand the actions of the masculine. I understand the cup of the feminine, and I understand who all of this understanding belongs to and who I belong with. Do you see that? It's like the King of Cups in all of his wisdom, all of his, let's call that what this is. Like, it's not the Knight of Cups where it's that, that beautiful, let me charge forward with my cup of love energy, Mr. Valentine's Day. I love him. And it's not the Queen of Cups that is just this beautiful, pure, nurturing intention. This guy puts over the top of it his masculine understanding, right? Masculine understanding. So and what does he understand about the balanced state that he finds himself in between his mind and his emotions? He understands that it's you. Look, the outcome for you, we've had this a couple of times, haven't we?
Yes.
Two of Cups and Two of Cups is a repeating message.
Uh-huh.
And what we love about the Two of,
A couple of repeating messages.
Yeah. What we love about the Two of Cups when it comes out is it's that 3D version without all the screwed up, no, I won't say screwed up lessons. Can I? Because it feels screwed up when you're in it.
Gotta have communication.
We do, like the lessons can feel really balmy at times, but they're designed to get us to this place where we feel the gentleness of the connection, where you feel the tenderness of the connection, where you get to have your walk on the beach hand in hand, and you laugh and you cry together, and you go through the 3D version of feeling connected to your twin. And look, this is across tarot land, you'll see it relentlessly that the Four of Wands is union, right? We've got our 1111 signifier. We've got our couple here, happy and in union. See this? I don't know if you can see very clearly. I'll do my best to bring it into focus. You've got behind there the people that we're going to lead. Are they family? Are they friends? Are they just the broader community? But here is our twin flame couple in union, surrounded by the 1111 with the abundance of the divine lessons, the rock solid foundation of everything that you've had to build together to be able to hold a union and to be able to lead others into this new understanding of love. This push against the masculine is solid. And what I want to say is the fact that the King of Cups is there is that he understands that this connection is powerful. He understands there's more to it. Thank you for those extras. Like, I think they were worth the read.
I think they were just there for a reason.
I know, you saw them and you went, yes.
Yeah, I'll take them. Thank you very much. Of course, Divine. I'll follow the messages.
Okay, because look, do you see what the next level is? There you are. There you are. What does he understand? Like, if that's the push, and it is the next level, and like I said to you, we're kind of jumping ahead into middle of September, so we're kind of projecting where we're going. This is the push, and then we'll look at his actual actions in a sec. So the push is to understand the divine feminine. There you are in the Nine of Pentacles, and if you follow the readings, if you followed us, you'll know how I see the Nine of Pentacles as it's pre-Empress energy, or it's where you've been sitting with all the work that you've done to get to the level that you are ready to hold your union, right? He sees you, divine feminine. He sees you. Okay. Now, look, what we've got here is regret and sadness, and is one of those kicker cards in tarot that makes people take action. Over here, this is everything that I've knocked over, everything that I'm sad about, everything I'm regretful. What's sitting behind him? What's sitting behind him? Your connection, right? The Two of Cups. It's there. It's safe and sound. It never got knocked over. Just turn around, masculine. Have a bloody look. It's right there. Oh, sometimes I just want to say, come on, it's right there. And I know, like, I'm feeling the anticipation because I feel how close we're getting. What, you ready for this one? This is the kicker on this read. What this is the energy that triggers it. I'm feeling regretful, remorseful about the way I've treated this divine feminine. The connection is safe. What triggers the return? Mercury retrograde. There it is. The past comes back around.
Right there.
Cannot even make this stuff up, right? Cannot even make that up. How, like, this is when we're leaning into a Mercury retrograde to see the Six of Cups come up. You know, like, on any given day, this card can mean a bunch of different things. But when we're leaning into Mercury retrograde, it only means one thing. The past is coming back around, right? Now, depending on where your masculine is in the journey, it could mean that the past comes back around just as recognition, right? For others, it means the past comes back around because they're ready to take action. Now, let's have a look at the next level.
Excuse me.
What have we got? Good morning to you too.
Brain fart, didn't realize.
You is live, Ricky.
Communication, people.
Communicate. Okay, the next level of energy is, do you see this? And I hope I'm going to articulate this all correctly because there's a lot going on. Hey?
Yes, Shelley. Hello, Shelley, and hello, Jill.
All right. The past comes back around, right? And then this Mercury retrograde, it's starting in Libra, right? Look at what the card we've got is. Do you see what's on there? It's the scales. It is legit the scales. Libra, right? I just said what's going to come back around. The past is going to come back around under the Mercury retrograde, which starts in Libra. What is the next push? Is that they give. They give. This is pennies from heaven, right? Definitely is how I normally read it. It's going information that comes down from the divine that serves the masculine, right? See how they've all fallen down on his head. Now what does he want to do? Now he wants to come into balance, right? He wants to give of what he's learned. He wants to be like this retrograde is going to kick people into the neutral space of giving, right? And anything that's out of alignment, there's going to be little course corrections that set people up for all these destiny points. And I hope I'm legit not talking myself in circles in trying to articulate how important these alignments are and how they're going to play out over the next few weeks. Anything that is not in balance, right, over these little course corrections, they're small. So it might just be, you know, let's play our scenario out. There was something that Ricky posted on Facebook. Let's call it out, explain it fully so you know what we're talking about. And I went, what the hell is that, right? What the hell is that? This is how pissy it is. What the hell is that? And he's had no ill intent for it whatsoever, but it triggered a little journey in me, and it triggered a big conversation. And it wasn't necessarily about the scenario, but there was a course correction that had to happen because inside of me is still some big energies. Like I still had some stuff to burn off. Now, what he did was nothing. In the grand scheme of things, it was nothing. And I know it, and he knows it. But what I was holding as a shadow energy wasn't nothing, right? So what I was holding as a shadow energy wasn't nothing. And these little course corrections that were coming along were designed to go, hey, Susie, you've done a bucket load of work, and I know you guys are working really, really hard, but what's this crap you're sitting on? Okay, I hope that makes sense. So then, now what's going to happen on the divine masculine side? So maybe we've had all our course corrections, divine feminine. I'm not guaranteeing it, Ricky, just for the record. If there's
See,
but
communication, I ain't said no.
Well, I reckon you will be saying stuff. Divine masculine will be saying stuff, because anything that's not that needs to correct from the past, coming back around from any level of regret about anything connected to divine feminine, is going to have this play out. The universe will draw down what it needs to. I'm gonna call these flat out. These little course corrections are gonna tip him into balance. I hope that came around full circle the way I wanted it to. Now, do you know what you just said? You were just like, you straight up went defensive. No. Yeah, I didn't say nothing. Look, defensive. I didn't.
I haven't said nothing yet.
Sorry, I'm calling you out just because it's fun. But this is a defensive energy, right? This is a defensive energy of going, of wanting to resist course corrections, or wanting to resist the balancing, wanting to resist the giving. So this is why I say to you that it feels like there's these energies won't tip over until all of those destiny ideals line up, is because we still have, it's not fun to be course corrected, is it? And you can push against the grain a little bit. And I'm suggesting that that's what's playing out. But look at what the final message of that energy space is the Ace of Pentacles. So what's the likely outcome on those course corrections? You guessed it, is the 10. Here he is on the lower level of energy. He's got the regret, and he's got the past coming back around about you. He has this time of feeling like the universe might be, correcting behaviors, or correcting levels of information, and a little bit of defensive energy pushing back against it. But the likely outcome is that the universe prompts that 10th pentacle to be delivered. I'm calling it. These unions are ready to crash on the shore. These waves are ready to roll. Okay, but here's the kicker. Like, I just feel like I need to go back and just know, at the moment, it feels like he's knocked all his cups over, right? So there's still a minute of work there to understand that the connection was always safe. See this? The connection was always safe. And if you can hold that in your heart too, divine feminine, as you go through your work for the next little bit, your connection is always safe. Just know that. Righto. Shall we get on to the 6? What is the direct push? The 5 of Swords. Now, it's a transitional energy, and I'm definitely seeing it that way in the way this comes around, because we're going from this idea of, the push against them is to make changes, make corrections, but that's not always fun. And sometimes it can cause miscommunication. And that's kind of how I'm seeing it. Under these, Mercury retrograde is well known for, communication misfires. And but the way that this is playing out is it wants to balance anything that's out of balance. So sometimes that can mean that you have a victory, but there's some collateral damage, right? That communication might leave someone feeling stung, or feeling like, that didn't quite go. Maybe you don't. I've talked about these swords about being truth and justice. Maybe you don't get to the core of the problem yet. Let's face it. When Knight of Cups comes in, he's just all lovey-dovey. He's just got a cup full of love. He doesn't want to address necessarily how much trouble he's caused, or how much stress and strife. But the communication, even if there's a level of, collateral damage, or it might have a process that does. I don't actually want to say it causes damage. I want to say it doesn't complete necessarily. It still feels victorious. And here he's sitting in the seat of victory as well. Look, as this sexual energy rises, as this creative sexual energy rises, right? You think he's not going to feel that? I think he's going to feel that. I think this is just going to light a spark in both of you. Like this is feeling very, very positive that the universe is looking to use this as. What did you say?
Light my fire.
Yeah, baby, light my fire. Yeah, quite literally. Divine masculine says to divine feminine, come on, baby, light my fire. Straight from the horse's mouth, right? Yeah, it's he's feeling victorious. Now, I think this is why this is interesting, because maybe after everything that you've been through, divine feminine, to feel maybe the first push that comes along, you just think is desire driven, or you go, is he just back here looking for sex, right? Or sexual energy, when I don't think that's the case at all. But because the way that the universe uses sexual energy to create things, you might go, well, excuse me, buddy, don't necessarily want to get hot and heavy with you until we work through these energies around truth and justice. Yes, we'll have a victory that we're communicating with each other, but the hot and heavy energies need to come with a bucket load of truth, right? A bucket load of truth and a bucket load of balancing the past. Now look at what we've got another repeating message here, which is beautiful. In the soul space, he's got the Fool. What have you got as the push from the energy? Okay, I'm going to say it, divine feminine. Maybe you're allowed to run with the hot and the heavy energy for a minute. Maybe just let that spark of desire rise up. Trust the desirable feelings when you know, and this is part of mastery. Wherever I put that card, this is part of mastery, is knowing that sexual energy is actually creative energy, right? And if your divine masculine is coming towards you and you're feeling that hot and heavy push, and essentially you're going, I'm not sure how that really settles in with the truth of all the pain that I've been through. Are we going to address all of that? Yeah, you will get to address it, but I'm going to suggest that the first pull that you might feel towards each other, and look, these fools are facing each other. These are some happy fools. And what's in between them two? I'm going to call it. Look, what's in between these two? A fresh spark of hot and heavy energy. Yeah. Can I just blush now? Like this is.
She's blushing.
Yeah.
She's blushing.
She's blushing. Maybe just to allow it to unpack as it shows up. When he shows up as the Knight of Cups, maybe that initial response is to know that sexual energy is creative energy, and this is how the universe is going to begin the journey. He shows up in Knight of Cups energy, and the spark is alive and well between you, and then the process can unpack from there. I'll be vulnerable and go that we came back together that way.
We did.
Just a couple of hot and heavy fools.
Oh, yeah.
And then
a couple of hot minutes there.
And then we worked out then the rest unpacked. Can we say it that way? We allowed that reconnection to just be what it was in the moment, and then unpacked the heavier parts of the journey as we went. But what was behind, I would not have sat in that energy, and this is probably the cautionary tale. I would not have sat in the Fool energy if I had not done all of this, if I hadn't had it behind me to know that there was more happening. And I knew that if it was wrong, if it needed to go back in the oven and cook some more, that I had the capacity to do it. I didn't just surrender into going, well, this is what it's going to be about all over again. It was like definitely pushed for this higher level of connection to it wasn't just a couple of fools getting hot and heavy this time. It was like, this needs to sort itself out, and the crap needs to be adjusted if we're going to do this, right?
Yeah.
What is the challenge for the divine masculine? A 180. What is the challenge? Is to actually make the big change. Now, whatever he's got going on in life right now is probably leaving him relatively disappointed, right? And this is why the Fool comes in here wanting to make a fresh new start. Now, if you've watched yesterday's reading, you'll see that I saw the divine masculine as if he was sitting there and he had the phone in his hand and ready to make the call and stacking up of whether I stay with what I've got, stay with the status quo, even though I know it's broken, even though I know it's not serving me? Do I follow my feet onto happier days under this big push from the cosmos, or do I stay? Now, what he's sitting in, red hot right now, is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, you had in your cards over here, you had the Justice card. You had the Justice card over here. What does the Wheel of Fortune do when it spins in the right direction? It delivers justice. Both of these cards are connected to karma. It will turn 180 to deliver justice. We are in the energy, like I said before, this has come up twice. Saturn is traveling retrograde through Aquarius. It will turn direct again on the 23rd of October. So we've got another minute for this energy to turn over full tap. So how I'm reading this is, yes, it takes effort to leave what he's got going on in life right now, even though he knows it's 8 broken cups. He wants to sit in the energy of the Fool and move towards you. Absolutely. And at the moment, that would probably just present as hot and heavy because he's still yet to deliver you into justice. This 180 is still a challenge to deliver the true justice of this connection. What is the likely outcome of all of this going on? This push to make this change. You're probably not sleeping too well. He's probably having a few moments, and I look at these swords, one through the head, one through the throat, one through the chest. Who can sleep with swords pierced through them like that? You may be invading his dream space. The divine may be invading his dream space. I would suggest that sleep might be unsettled, and he's probably seeing signs everywhere he goes. I don't doubt that for a second. The divine is definitely impacting with these swords on making some changes. That sleep space is really, really intense at this point. Okay, shall we do some Divine Love Oracle, and then we can get into doing some personal readings. I've got cards everywhere again. Who are you going to read for today?
Who do you want to read for? I'll let you pick who you want to
for
read
me today?
Yeah.
I think I might read Divine Feminine today. See what you go, girl. Let's see what we got going on for you, Divine Feminine. Bit of a shuffle there and see. Righto, here we go. Oh, I love it. There you go. You want to choose one for Divine Masculine and one for the Connection? I feel like we need a drum roll for this one. This is awesome.
Drum roll.
Terrible drum roll, but look, graduation. Not kidding, right? Not kidding. That you're moving next level and ready for the next phase of your journey. We definitely saw that in the way that these cards were playing out. We've got the Temperance card, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. To be in balance and to know what to do anytime you get a course correction, right? Every time you get a course correction, you know what to do. You've got to kick it into alignment. And that is, graduation is all about that energy. It's you know what to do. It's the grind of being a twin flame. It's the grind of being, it's what mastery is all about, is that any time that you might get kicked, and like I said all the time, this is the creation point. This is the creation point. And graduation is knowing that that's what you've got to do. It doesn't matter the lesson, because ascension is going to keep going and keep going and keep going, right? Whether you're in separation, whether you're in union, ascension's going to keep going. But every time you graduate a phase, it's like you kick yourself back into balance. That's the point. That's the whole point. The universe loves the neutral space. It's where it creates from. And what is it going to create this time? Yeah, right. Ace of Wands. Fresh new desires in this connection. So I like that came out for you. What have you got for Divine? Oh, you've got Divine Masculine for Divine Masculine. Oh. Coming into his own. I don't know that there's too much. What did you get over here?
That's for that thing.
For the, yeah, let's just put those all together. Divine Feminine, you have graduated. Divine Masculine is walking strong in his own energy. Body and soul is bringing the 3D and the 5D together. I don't know that there's too much more to say about those. That, to me, that's a bit of a slam dunk, isn't it? Like, You know, I don't know that there's anything more to say. There's such straightforward messages. Divine Feminine, you've graduated into the truth of who you are, and you know how to play this journey. You know how to play the game of ascension. You know what to do when you come into challenges. Divine Masculine now knows who he is. He knows himself. He's standing strong in his own energy. And guess what? What is the following scenario? Is you bring soul and body to 5D and 3D, walking in union. Wow. I don't know that there's anything more to say. I'm going to wrap up the general side of that reading there and move on over and see if we can give some specific messages to anyone who's wanting them.
Yeah, so
Righto, let me pack these while you tell me what's going on.
Ashley.
Yes. Lovely Ashley.
Yes, lovely Ashley.
Yes. What would you like to know, Ash?
She wants to do energy read for her connection with the DM after the main video, and she's recently overcome the doubts and insecurities that made her question if the DM was really her DM.
If it's really her DM. Oh, look what just came out here, Ashley. Is your DM really the DM?
Yeah.
We literally just drew the Divine Masculine for the Divine Masculine. Maybe that energy was really reflecting straight back at you. Let's have a look specifically at your card. Do you want to draw me 3? We'll do 3 and 3 like we did the other day. I liked that the other day. It was nice. All right. So let's have a look. So around the connection and seeing if the DM is really the DM. Is that part of the question? Righto. What have we got? Yeah. All righto. What have you got for me?
Alrighty, let's do this. Wow.
3. Yeah, look. Is your DM really a DM? I want to say yes. Look at this card. Honestly, this is the first one that jumps out at me is the Temperance card. Yeah. Are you a balanced pair? Yes. Look at this 4 of Cups energy. Do you see this? And, you know, I know that you've watched our readings a fair bit, so I don't even have to explain this to you. You know that your connection is held safe and sound up there. Yes, you've knocked some water over in the separation stage, but you're understanding that the point of the journey is to really focus on self-love, twin love, and divine love. And you're really working hard on that journey. There's no doubt about it in my mind that the divine is pushing you on the path that you need to go on. Would suggest right now that there's a lot of overthinking going on, and that's not out of whack with where we are placed universally. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look like you're fully swimming with this current wave of energies that's due to crash in this current cycle. To be up in your head right now and overthinking is, you know, I put my hand up and I go, it's affecting me that way too. And these big Mercury pushes, and we've got Mars and Gemini dancing. We've got, what have we got? Neptune in retrograde. All of those energies are designed to put us into some serious overthinking about getting in alignment with our discernment, right? Is like figuring out, yeah, all right, I can put my twin flame union over there and it's safe and sound, but what's next? And it can get you madly up in your head trying to figure out what is it that I have to learn next about being, about separateness and oneness, right? So here you've got your separateness where it's tipped over. Your oneness is how the divine wants to help you manage your connection. Oh man, will it get you up in your head and overthinking? And then because I've got these energies here that feel like your twin has been in and out a little bit, where you step forward, step back, step forward, step back, and it gets you way up in your head overthinking. What I'm going to suggest to you, Ashley, is that the next little cycle, you might be spending a bit of time still in your 9 of Pentacles energy, which is not, it's not out of whack. Like I've just said to you, that we've got some destiny points coming up, but this 9 of Pentacle energies is you all over the journey. Like, you know exactly what you need to do every time another cycle comes around. This overthinking cycle, what we want to tip you into, darling, is mastery versus the getting stuck in the pain of all your thoughts. and I know how hard you're working to bring those alignments in. This Four of Cups energy tells me how hard you're working, even though it gets you, stuck in your head every time a cycle comes around where you go, oh, I think this is close to it, this is happening, and then again you find yourself back in the 9 and not the 10. So, my encouragement there is keep doing what you're doing. The course corrections are coming. They get you up in your head, absolutely, but the big shifting energies, the big divine energies are on their way. What is the push against the divine masculine there is, look, balance. He doesn't mean to get you up in your head, but at the moment he's running very swordsy, isn't he? Holy moly, is he running some swords. So this might put him, when you come into contact with him, which is why I think you've got all this Eight of Swords playing out, is that he's he communicates ideals very well, and he might charge at you very, very quickly, but it's not sticking at the moment because there's still some work to do. But it's fighting for balance. It's definitely fighting for balance. But if he comes across cocky at the moment, if he comes across like he charges at you and then he just falls away again, like, try not to take it to heart. And anytime that it gets you overthinking, my best advice is to take it to the divine and sit in that energy where you know your connection is safe. Look, the divine's got your connection held beautifully safely. In the 5D, it's perfectly balanced. There's nothing to worry about. So then when you know that it's perfectly safe in the 5D, you go, righto, he might need a little, and I would suggest he might need a little bit more cooking, looking at all these swords. And the fact that your 9 of Pentacles comes up, put it back in the oven and get back to work with the divine, right?
Stop opening the oven door.
It's okay to open the oven door, just don't eat the raw meal. Right? Get back to work with the divine and keep learning your lessons about oneness and separateness. And keep and this cosmic cycle, the way that your energies are looking here is especially with the Temperance card coming out under this retrograde energies through Libra and everything that we've mentioned through the reading. It looks like you're really, really on track with this current soulmate cycle, darling. Hope that helped. Hope it gave you a little bit of insight there. Righto.
Yeah.
Have we got another? Any more questions?
Yeah. Next one was Sarah. She wants to have a reading about her present and what to do with her off and on ex.
Oh, reading about your present energy, and then I'll draw those. If you can draw 3 cards for the on again, off again ex.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at those energies. What you got currently going on? Let's have a look. Righto. And this is for Sarah.
Yes.
Present. Oh, Sarah, look what you got. Beautiful. Righto. Okay, let's have a look at the on again, off again. Yeah. Gosh, we've got a few repeating messages from our general read here, Sarah. Yeah, look. Okay, so what you've got currently going on around you right now is that you really are trying to get yourself into calmer waters, leaving trouble behind, and I even want to say that there could have been some level of I'm going to call it mental or emotional abuse when I pick up this card. I just feel like you've had a real heavy time with somebody, using words or gaslighting or, like even tipping into that narcissist energy where you just get left feeling like you mentally and emotionally just feel hacked up, like that feels really heavy to me, Sarah, if it resonates. But I do see that you've taken charge of the situation and you really do want to move yourself away from anything that feels like it's going to mess with your emotional space. Anything that feels like it's going to take you down at the moment. Like, this is packing up everything you've learned. You're savvy. You are savvy is what I want to say. And it hasn't, you've not let the way that life has come at you or the way that life has treated you stop you from moving yourself forward in life. And this feels like you're making a very, very determined effort now to push yourself forward, to really get into calmer waters. And what is following on to that is that look at this Ace of Wands. You do have this brand new energy moving forward that wants to get you on a higher path of, I want to say, a higher path of learning. I'm going to lean into that you are a very creative soul, and this push from the universe, whether it's a sexual energy or a creative energy, you are taking the high road, and you are really, it's like life has reborn for you. You've got a real fresh zest for life, and that you want to move your path forward towards however the divine is unpacking life for you. You're open to it. You're going, I'm done with anybody messing with my mental or emotional space. I want what I want for me, and I'm going to take it and move forward. And Three of Wands here really would suggest that energy as well. I think you're really done with this on again, off again idea. You don't want to sit at a crossroads with people, and that you really just want to follow your path and get what is meant for you. That Ace of Wands over there, this is the crossroads back here. Two of Wands is the crossroads. Three of Wands is going after what you want. And I just really see you moving forward and not letting anybody take you down ever again. It's a really it's a go-getter energy where it's just leaving the rubbish of the past behind and moving forward. Your on again, off again X is, I'm going to suggest you might have been connected with some level of, I don't want to call it karmic, but it definitely feels like it's triggered your journey. I don't know necessarily if this is the person that you're destined to end up with, largely because we've got the death card there, but I'm also seeing it as he might have been someone who was transitional for you. I'm looking at the 5 there going, he definitely was someone here to teach you lessons. He was definitely here to get you to grow, and he may have even mentored you in some way, shape or form to help you on your ascension journey. But, look, essentially I don't, yeah, look, I am going to lead back into this purpose of being an ascension. It could have been a karmic energy, legit. Can I just get one more for that one, Ricky? I just feel like, it feels to me like you want to draw a line in the sand. Yeah, look, see, I just don't think that this one is, it feels to me like this could have been our gaslighter, or it could have been the one that caused you that mental and emotional stress. And I think, in return, you've helped him ascend. I think you've definitely impacted his life, and you've moved him forward in a very significant way. But this one feels like it's a line in the sand kind of an energy for the minute anyway. If this is a twin energy that you're reflecting on, I feel like you're in a process where the separation is actually serving you right now. And it's probably not a connection that you'd want to be bringing in under these current energies. But has it served you? Yes, it has. And it will, it'll be a launching pad to the next phase, even if this is not where your destiny ends up. I feel like this one probably needs a line in the sand as you move yourself away from troubled waters and chase down whatever this is. This is what I'm excited for. This feels like it's something you should probably leave behind. Righto, that was for Sarah.
That was for Sarah. I hope
Yeah.
that helped you a bit there, Sarah.
Heavy energies
lovely
there.
Michelle,
hello, darling.
she would love to get an energy update on her DM.
Okay, let's see what's going on around there. What do we draw? Do you want to draw 3? Do you want to draw 3 for me?
3 for you?
3 for me, for Michelle, for her energy update for her DM. That would be lovely.
Oh,
Did you see that clear communication?
Yeah, that was very
I
clear.
asked her exactly what I wanted. 1. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Righto. See, look, that's not surprising. Yeah. What have you got? 1, 2, 1 more. Oh, look what you've got here, Michelle. All right. So, and we're reading it all for your DM. So he's definitely got, he's in process, definitely. The 8 of Wands. If this is him sitting here underneath all of this action, it's happening. I would even suggest he might even be seeing signs and starting to weigh up what his options are. But look at this. This was absolutely in line with our reading, wasn't it? Being defensive, having that energy where it's like going, even though I feel the push, even though all of the wands are in the air to get me to move forward, I can see options in front of me. Don't necessarily know what's in the cups, right? The Seven of Cups can suggest that it is someone having options, but how I'm reading it is he doesn't know what his options are. So he might be going, and he's particularly defensive because he's not sure about what any of them are. Now, if you are one of these cups, which I'm suggesting it is over here, he's probably feeling a little bit defensive about picking it up. He might be seeing signs. He might be seeing your name everywhere he goes. Our billboard, right? That the billboard idea. He might be, having that hit him in the face. But as yet, because he doesn't fully understand what's inside the cups, he might be sitting in a bit of defensive energy and resisting the push to come towards you. What I like about what I'm seeing though is over here. Do you remember what we saw in the Divine Feminine reading? Is about getting to mastery. Now, this is reflecting for your Divine Masculine. So it's like the balanced version of that energy. He wants to be happy in life and he wants to bring his soulmate towards him. But how do you get there? Mastery. You've got to do the work. And what I would suggest is that's what he's busy at right now. So it's like trying to understand why you might be coming up as an option in his life might be a little confusing. All of the signs are telling him that this is something that he should be looking at, but he doesn't necessarily want to pick up the cup and drink it just yet. He's a little bit defensive. That the push against him though would definitely be to get to work, to do what you need to do to be happy. And I would suggest that he knows that happiness is tied to you. Gorgeous message, Michelle. Really love how this is. We're still progressing towards those destiny points, and it looks like this energy is really on track for how. Joni, darling, hello.
Current energy of
yep.
DM.
All right, let's have a look. Do you know what, Joni? My face just flushed as soon as Ricky asked the question, and it did before too. When I was reading all of the wands messages, my face flushed. So let's have a look and see what the energy is around your DM. Look, here comes that Wheel of Fortune. Like in the reading, it said that was a struggle, but yours comes in as something that he's ready to do. Have you got 3 cards for me there, Ricky?
Yes, I sure.
One. Oh, yeah, look. 2. There he is in his wands. Not surprising. 3. Okay. Righto. So there's a couple of challenges here, but by and large, it's positive. So he's definitely feeling the push to make the 180, which is super. We're moving that energy forward. King of Pentacles suggests that he's probably still allowing life and work to get in the way of that, because we do have the 2 of Swords there, which would suggest he has competing energies taking place in that scenario. So you might be, feeling that it's changing. You're definitely feeling the push, and we're in that shadow energy of things coming into balance and kicking forward. But here it's still out of balance, so there might be a couple little course corrections still to take place before we really get to those destiny points later in the month. Now, is he moving forward? Yes. Are you feeling desire from him? I would almost guarantee it. Coming in hot and heavy. But there's something about the way that energy is playing out that at the moment is not entirely getting to the heart of the matter. Because here, look, if up here we've got 2 swords in the ground here, and I call them truth and justice, we've got the 2 of swords up here, which we might go, are these truth and justice? And we, like I said in the general reading, when they come in hot and heavy, it might be a struggle to actually go, are you genuine? Is this offer that you're putting towards me a genuine expression of how you're feeling? Or are you just feeling hot and heavy and want to bring me back into your world? So I would actually think that what he's got going on is some level of confusion around those ideals, but the push is genuine. That's what I want to say. The Wheel of Fortune comes in as that great karmic corrector and pushes things the way that they need to go. And if everybody's doing their work on both sides of the union, which, you know, we talk back and forth, and I know how hard you're working to keep yourself in a balanced state. And the universe is saying, yes, I want to bring the right karma towards you. There's still an issue with maybe work is still like a big energy that plays out, and the confusion might be, how do I balance life in the traditional sense versus this big push that I'm feeling, or this desire, this energy. So you might be sitting there feeling like there's some kind of layer that's not understood. I don't want to call this a liar energy. I don't at all. But it's like it feels like it's a misunderstood energy, or can I trust it? That's more the question. Can I trust what's coming towards me? And what I want to say is, because the Wheel of Fortune came through first, I want to say, yes, you can. And also I want to say the general reading said that you would probably have these more desire-bound energies that charge forwards towards you, that might feel like you can't trust them. That was like literally the heart of the general read. So it feels like you're very in line with that, and that the Eight of Cups that he might be struggling to reconcile might be around his work scenario and the ability to balance it all. But is he feeling the desire? On track, darling. Hope that helps, sweetheart.
So up next is Shelley.
Yes.
She pretty much wants to have same reading as what Ashley did.
Just so what was like a general and
like so Shelley was overcome her doubts and insecurities that made her question if again was again.
Yep.
And for that, more about the masculine sphere of commitment.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look. What do you have there? So general reading and masculine sphere of commitment. Is that the heart of what we're reading?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Okay. And doubts and insecurities.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, hasn't that been that's been a theme, hasn't it? Let's have a look. Look, you can't even make this up. It keeps coming out. Oh yeah, there's your doubts and insecurities. I see it. Right. Can you give me 3 for the masculine?
Oh, shall give you 3 for Shelley.
Yeah. Oh, look, again, another.
Two.
Ah, look. See, we've got repeating messages. You know, you can't even make it up, can you, Divine Feminine? That you know, so many of the messages come out consistently. Are you feeling a push at the moment? Like, is this energy rising within the Divine Feminine? Yes. This rising, I'm going to call it sexual energy, but do not confuse sex and sexual energy. This is a rise in creative energy. You feel it as desire, you feel it as passion, but this is the universe creating the next chapter for you. What is this doing to you, Shelley? It's making you feel frustrated on some level. And you know, this wanting to express, communicate, or have some kind of how do I want to word this? The Page of Swords is a messenger, and I'm leaning into it to suggest that there might be something that comes towards you that starts to suggest that the energy is reciprocated. I do want to say that. I want to say that this, you know, this level of frustration and feeling can come sometimes from having to suppress an energy such as this one. And it is, you know, look, anyone who watches, I say this is pissy energy, the 5 of Wands, but I'm not picking this up this way for you. I'm picking it up as a pretty major block towards letting this truly show through, and to be able to express it. It's like it's the you know, the energy is charging towards you, but you're like going, it's confusing, it's frustrating, and it's not something I necessarily want to choose. You've got it sitting here and going, I sit in the crossroads of going, I feel all these energies, but I don't necessarily want to choose them. What was the second half of that question? It was like the first one was what's the energy around, but what was the second half of that question? I just want to make sure I get it right, because I feel like I could really dive off on a tangent on this one about what it is to get a course correction when you suppress energy.
The masculine sphere of commitment in this journey, because her dear does battle fear of commitment. I think most of us do.
Yeah, fear of commitment. Yeah. Look, and I think this is like a charge forward for sure. And this is what you're saying about fear of commitment. Definitely, this is somebody sitting at a crossroads and not knowing how to make a decision. It's about having confusing or counteracting information. But what I want to suggest to you, is this connection feels like it's got some balancing still to go. This one doesn't feel like it's at the tipping point, because I want to suggest to you, and take this for what it's worth, is that there's a lot of work to do on allowing desire to really rise and to be able to acknowledge that you feel it. And I know divine feminine in the day and age that we live in, sometimes, we feel like we have to squash our sexuality. We feel like we have to squash the desire that we have for the person that we have desire for. And then what it can lead to is feeling like it will rest as a block to your connection. I guarantee you, to not allow desire to flow, because desire is a creative energy. Sexual energy is a creative energy. And right now I feel like it's in a space where you can, like, you're suppressing it on a really decent level. It's something that you can work through, though, and under these next energies that you'll be able to, like the way that the course corrections come about, there will be something that plays out for you that allows you to view it with more clarity. You'll be able to see it through a new lens. And perhaps it is that you lean in on the collective at this point in time and have discussions on what it is to feel strong in your femininity. Because for mine, this feels like you're suppressing it on some level, and there's a voice that's inside that's dying to escape, to let this energy flow. When I look at the fear of commitment that is happening around your DM, essentially it is that he just stands at a crossroad. He never knows what he wants, because he's always getting conflicting information. And like, if you two are twins and your energy is always in flux with each other, I think what you're sending to each other right now is some serious mixed messages, right? And if he charged forward right now and made you the offer that you wanted, I actually think that it would be something that would be way too confronting for you, because there's some healing that needs to happen. Big discussion, Shelley, and probably one that would, like to really move it to the next level, would be some healing around how you express desire or how you express sexuality, not sex. Don't get me wrong on this one. But like feminine energy and feminine desire feel like they're being suppressed. And for you, it feels like the next level to open up is to let that energy flow again. And I know when hurt and rejection comes upon you in these twin flame journeys, that is an energy that is quick to shut down, right? That we don't feel like we can express it openly. But what I want to say to you is that, yes, you can heal this part of the journey. It is frustrating, it is difficult, but this voice wants to be heard. So reach out, express these ideals, and we'll do the best that we can from our side to continue to open up pathways where you can learn to let this energy flow. I hope that was helpful. Feels like a heavy reading there for you, Shelley, but I hope there was something helpful in there. Okay.
So next one is I hope I say this right, Kionia. She is wanting an energy read for her connection. Kind of feels like a stop and go.
Yep.
And it's hard for her to tell as she puts most of her focus on work.
Okay. Let's have a look at what's going on. So we want to read for both sides of the connection, essentially. Okay. So it's stop and go. So let's look at their combined energies and see what's playing out. Ooh, my face just got fiery again. Oh, okay. Righto. Have you got 3 cards for me there, Dom? Let's see. Doll. Sure, doll.
Sure, doll.
Yeah, look. Here we go. Oh, I like this. Righto. Okay, what we've got, lovely, we are coming into a level of understanding. So to sit in the Queen of Cups there, that was really on line with our reading, wasn't it? To say that Divine Feminine really does have a pure level of love to offer. You've come into clarity about where you sit on the journey. You know who you are. You know what you've got to offer. You know what to do. You have a really clear connection with the divine. Coming into judgment is, for mine, it's like where you sit at how I'm reading it for you, you might be sitting with the divine right now and going, what more do you need from me? Come on. How much further do you need me to ascend? How much more do I got to do before you let this tip over into something I can celebrate? And what I want to say to you is, like, look at this. It feels like your divine masculine is it's like you're on this wave that's tipping over currently. The defensive energy, remember, we saw that in the main read. The justice energy, we saw that in the main read. And here, looking to celebrate. Now, under these retrograde and destiny energies, this is the kind of outcomes that we're hoping to see, is that from a level of, because you're doing everything you need to do to keep yourself in the neutral space, and you're like, your beef is not with your twin anymore, your beef is with the divine. And when you get to that point, you start to understand what this is all about. What this triggers over here is the phase of the journey for the divine masculine, where they start to do what's required for them. You're in judgment, that's you and the divine. Here is justice, this is the karmic return. And like we're talking about, Mercury is in Libra right now. And what have you got? You've got the swords. Mercury is connected to communication. Libra is connected to the scales. So when that moves, at the moment, he's a bit defensive to that energy, but when it moves retrograde and when it moves into those soul space energies, like I'm talking about, all those destiny point energies that are coming forward. Look, this is why this judgment card's here. Keep sitting with the divine, darling, because you're keeping on doing this work and it's triggering the journey over here. What have you got coming through? You've got the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is a big communication card. Why I see it as the divine masculine, and the divine feminine, all happily enjoying the fruits of union. It is a celebration card. It is a coming together card. And it is, look at the harvest. Look at the harvest that is around these guys. These guys are celebrating the harvest, right? And what do I keep saying is September is harvest month. It's destiny month. So it feels like to me that the energy that you're manifesting right now, the way that you're going about your journey, is triggering this, your connection in line with the current soulmate cycle. For him to sit in defensive energy, to have the justice card blow in the way that it does, it feels like it's truly moving in the direction to have all of these destiny energies play out along with the current soulmate cycle. I don't see anything here that's outside of the main read that I feel like I need to say to you, look out. This is a big call, because the clarity, Queen of Cups, it's a power-packed read, darling. And to sit in the space of judgment means that you and the divine are going toe-to-toe. You know that it's not your divine masculine that's holding the scenario up. It's the work that needs to be done. So you sit at the feet of the divine and go, righto, do you want me to ascend? I'll ascend. Give me the next lesson. Tell me what I've got to do. Help me figure it out. And the likely outcome, because you know what I talk about, twins, what affects one affects the other. Look what's happening over here. He is moving in alignment with the current soulmate cycle as well. Feels very positive for mine, darling. Hope that one was helpful. I don't know if I offered a lot of help, but maybe we just gave you some mile markers that said that it looks like you're really on track there. Okay.
Hello, Fairy Empress.
Oh, we spoke the other day, didn't we? Hello, lovely. How are you? What would you like to know?
So her DM lives on the other side of the planet.
Right.
And he's called her a few days ago and said that he might be in her area for a business trip.
Right.
And she says she's felt this meeting coming up and feels as though they are in the 5D union. And this would be their first meeting, but she was just wondering, any energy updates?
Okay, let's have a look what's around you. See? Yes, the Nine of Cups. Yeah, okay. And the Six of Wands. And the Page of Pentacles. Right, have you got 3 cards for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the Hangman. Right. Okay. Yeah, look, this is feeling very aligned with what's happening universally, isn't it? We're pushing towards these encounters where the divine masculine does make some kind of an offer forward or does show up in this Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups energy, beg your pardon, and there you are in victory as well. So it's having that pure offer come forward and being at the start of the next phase. The Page of Pentacles comes in. Right, here's where the kicker cracks, right? Is that once you do have these unions, it starts a new cycle, right? There'll be a meeting, then there'll be a pause, then it gets you up in your head again, right? Get you into the overthinking phase and going, well, what does that mean? What does it mean when he said this? What does it mean when he did this? What does it mean now? What does it mean going forward? I would suggest that you'll have a lovely connection. When you get together and you meet, it's all very positive and it's the start of the next chapter, the next phase, the next wave. But the next wave puts you straight back into a separation energy and puts you back into overthinking. So the advice from all of this, right, is to continue to focus instead of going, what does it mean constantly in your 3D world? Go, what does it mean for my 5D and my 3D? So you're going to have to work both phases of the journey because it looks like it goes through a really nice, and that's the Mercury Libra energy, social, balanced, friendly, where you get to experience that cup of love from your twin, but then it moves back to a separation phase and you've got to go, you get back in your head about it, right? That's normal, it's natural, and it's really online with how twins operate. And how this next phase then works is going, righto, you have to start moving through the next phase of the ascension, knowing that your 3D is happening over here, and your 3D wants to get you into a place where you get stuck. But we know better than that, don't we? We know that we don't get stuck when these scenarios, when separation is here, it's here to serve us. And we're going to learn about self. We're going to learn about separation. We're going to learn about oneness. We're going to learn about the divine. The separation phase, the coming together, the oneness and the separation, they're both cycles that are here to serve. So, enjoy the moment when the moment's there. Live in the moment fully when you're in the 3D. And then when you're in the phases of separation or when you're in the phases of pause, and when it wants to push you into a space where it just sends you down a track of going, I just need this to be 3D now, which it does. It does that to you. You're going to sit with that 4 of Cups energy, that important 4 of Cups energy, which is all about distilling the energy. It's about discerning the energy and listening to what the messages are all about, so that you know that your 5D connection is always safe, even when your 3D connection is separated, and not allowing it to get us into a place where we're stuck in a mental prison where energy will stagnate. We want to keep energy moving and flowing. Hope that helps, and all the best for your for catching up.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Now, next one, hola Zoe. I hope I said that, Zoe CEO. Hopefully I said that right. So asking, will Mr. T reconcile over this weekend? No contact. I'm not too sure what that means, but
that you're in no contact, and they want that. She's trying to find out, is there reconcile energy happening this weekend? Is that the question?
That's the question.
My intuition is saying that we've still got a minute on that one. Let's see what the tarot says. Oh, Knight of Swords. Yes, see, look, that's energy that doesn't stick, but you are moving through a graduation phase. So you got 3 cards for me?
Yeah, Maya.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Righto. How I'm reading it is that, any communication that might play out over this weekend feels more like it's course correction than it is reunion, or it's going to be long term. You are definitely bringing lessons towards you. You're bringing in everything that you need to move through your journey. And like the fact that the graduation card comes in here is like going, and the Four of Pentacles. These two I'm relating side by side in going, you're drawing everything out of this cycle. Everything that you've learned is that Four of Pentacles pulling it in towards you. And you are now like kind of the energy of like a tradesman or a surgeon who has, they're off to do what they need to do, which is the Knight of Swords charges forward and does what they need to do. And you, in your toolkit, you'll have everything you need for the conversation to occur. It actually feels like to me, though, like this has still got a minute to go. There's still a process of healing and operating, and I'm going to call it the way that these energies have been playing out. It's like the devil and the divine dancing. So there's still something, and I don't see the devil as a bad guy. I see him as a necessary guy. For your union to come into alignment, you might still be wrestling with some big energies, which might mean that you have to spend some time still in the boat, right? The choppy waters pushing against you. The communication might feel like it doesn't stick, or it doesn't necessarily move you to the place that you want it to be. But what I want to say to you is it's all serving you. Everything that you're going to learn out of this next little phase of communication, and I'm going to say probably, like it feels very aligned with the current destinies, is that this devil energy, you must be getting close to some solutions, which this suggests you are, because the closer you get to the solution, the harder the devil pushes against you. So I think your struggle this weekend would be to not tip back into obsessive or chaser energies, and let the process play out. Continue anytime pain comes up against you to continue to lean into lessons that you will keep you balanced and safe within yourself, because the divine does want to kick this into a place where it's celebrating. I just think it's going to be a minute, and I don't necessarily think it will be this weekend. Time's a funny thing, though. Free will's a funny thing. The way I'm reading it, though, is it's probably going to play out over the course of the month versus over the course of the weekend. It's got more like it's still got a minute to go. It's still got a minute to go, and the devil still wants to dance with this connection and tease out some shadow energies before it truly brings you into a place where you go, this is what this connection is meant to look like. This is the three of us dancing together, communicating happily and celebrating the harvest of our union. So my best advice for this connection this weekend is whatever communication is exchanged, continue to work through it. If it causes pain, lean into it deeply. Where is the pain? What is it teaching you? Where is it going? And do your best, darling, not to tip into chaser or obsession energy, because there's a few heavy ones that I'm feeling up connected to that one. Again, a bit of a heavy message on that one, but I hope it's something that will serve you as you move through the way the energies play out this weekend.
You have a couple more.
Yeah.
Yasmin.
Is this Yasmin who's from Brisbane?
Yes, sir.
Who we spoke to the other day?
Right.
Yeah.
She would like a TF reading as a DF.
A TF reading as a DF. Yeah, I get you. I see you. Let's have a look at where you're at on your twin flame journey, darling. Do you want to draw 3 cards?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Please. Come on, get to work.
My bad.
Gee, we're drawing a lot of 6 of Swords, aren't we, Divine Feminine? Which suggests that we're sort of in this pool together as we're moving out of troubled waters. Oh, look at your beautiful energy, darling. This is great. See, the sun comes out because we're Queenslanders, hey? Not so sunny here in Queensland today, though. But let's have a look at this energy. Righto. 6 of Swords. I like this for you. From the focus of a DF and just looking at where you are and what you're doing. Look at these 2 6s, darling. You've got moving yourself out of troubled waters and the past coming back around. Now, this came out in our main reading, and when I'm sitting in Mercury retrograde shadow energy, I'm saying to you that this is going to play out, right? This is Mercury retrograde pushing you into the next phase of the journey. What I'm suggesting probably is that these energies, you're packing up your troubles and you're moving into better times. And how you're doing that is some real serious self-focus. Like you're maybe retreating from the world a little bit with the Hermit's Cave. But I love the Hermit. it's like the hermit leaves the light out. He doesn't say, like, I'm going to disconnect from life altogether and not care. The hermit says, I'm going to look after me. I'm going to get very, very focused on what I need to do to bring abundance back into my life. And look at what this is for you. You are truly working towards the manifestation of everything that you want and need, which is absolutely magic. Does Mercury retrograde come back around for some learnings and some teachings? Yeah, absolutely. This gets you into mastery, right? And this was the push from the divine feminine in the general read. So I'm saying you're tracking really healthily with the way the universe is pushing you. If there's any kind of a warning here, it's that the Hermit card can tip us into this space. And I said to you, like, that we don't want the Hermit to disconnect you from life and love and everything that you've got going on, and it can tip you into a space of overthinking. So I would be very, very cautious of this fact, and this can play out two ways. Now, this is not a cage, darling. I want you to know that all of these swords are not a cage, and with your feet in the water, just keep following the divine. Right? When you're in the energy of the Hermit, and then it threatens to descend into overthinking or being locked in your thoughts. Feel the feet under your water, feel the water under your feet, and keep following the divine, keep following the call to push yourself onto mastery. Do what you need to do. You're going to get some course corrections under this Mercury retrograde. I'm going to call that big time for you. But you know what your destination is. You know what you've got to do to get yourself there. The kicker is not to let yourself get trapped in the pain along the way. Hope that's been a little bit helpful for you. And I do have to let you know, I start work at 9 o'clock, which is about 15 minutes away. So I'll keep answering as many questions as I can until I've got to switch into my other job, which is more of the same, but just in a different platform.
So I think we have enough time for two more.
Enough time for two more, you think? Righto.
So okay. The next one is Marissa. Her ex is an Aries man, and she's a Leo woman. Yeah. So she's wondering, will they ever reconcile, and will he ever be loyal?
Oh, Aries and Leo. Do you know what's interesting about that? Is it Marissa? Did you say?
Yes.
Marissa, if you have a look on our on the videos that we've got currently posted, and you have a look at Aries right now, and I've been doing a little zip around the zodiac, and do you know who's looking at these readings the most? Is Aries, and it shocked me. I was like, that's not normally who's looking at these. It's, normally we get, do a lot of talking with the watery signs, but Aries has smashed that zip around the zodiac, and I've gone, righto. And you know what's happening for Aries is we've got the Jupiter Chiron retrograde traveling through Aries. So there's a big push on Aries for some healing. Well, let's have a look at your two energies together. Do you want to draw 3 for the divine masculine? Yes. And let's have a look at your energy, Marissa. I'll see what we've got. 7 of Cups. We've got the Tower. And we've got, never fear the Tower, darling. I love the Tower when it comes out. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. See, look, I'm going to call this your Aries man. He's gone through it, sister. Look, what you've got going on in life, it could feel like you can't quite find your way right now. Like everything's crashing down. It's breaking down. But what I want to say, darling, is it's breaking down to breakthrough. Don't fear this Tower in your reading. Sometimes I would say, oh boy, the Tower, oh my gosh, what have you got going on that's going to be so tough for you to be able to get yourself out of? But options are coming at you that's going to feel like you're going to break down to break through. But I'm seeing it as super positive, because look how you come out of it. 8 of Pentacles. This is you getting on mastery. So however this Tower is breaking down for you right now, darling, it's here to red hot serve you. Let what's falling away fall away. Let all the bricks crash to the ground. All right. And I know your options don't feel clear right now. They feel like they might be a little bit confusing. But what comes out the other side of this Tower energy is that you get really, really serious about what it is you're going to do, the mastery. So, there's a bunch of, like cosmic energies playing right now that is pushing us into tower energies. I just want you to know not to fear it, that you're going to be fine. You're going to come out with some focus. Now, your Aries counterpart, has he been juggling? Yes. Has he been necessarily someone you can rely on? No. Has it brought him unstuck? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at this energy. I've been juggling in life, and it has, all it's brought me is 3 beautiful swords through the heart. Now, when we see the swords through the heart of the divine masculine, I never want anyone to have to sit in this pain. I don't. But it's the kind of pain that triggers change in people. And what is the outcome? Because when I first saw these two come out, I was like, oh, what's going on there? But this one, he's going to do some deliberate healing. He's going to make some deliberate change. He's looking for some deliberate focus in life. Look at these. It's a progression, right? From the 3 to the 4. The 3 is all of the pain and all of the knives in the heart. And he's actually spending time to figure out that he's the one who put him there. He's going, why am I sitting in so much pain in life? Lord, help me, or whatever he calls out to, whatever deity he calls out to go, I need help, and coming into focus. And you'll know that in the past few readings, Ricky and I have talked about how these swords energies played out for us. And it wasn't until he got to the bottom of that pit that the phone call comes out and goes, I actually need to talk to you about this stuff. Like, you're the person I need to talk to. So clarity will come, darling. So what I would suggest to you is that your Aries counterpart, I wouldn't give up hope on this one. Never a slam dunk. Naturally, this process takes time, and you still might be in the window where he's in like a big healing phase, which is at Jupiter Chiron retrograde through Aries. But it's happening. It's happening. Can people change? Can people change, Ricky?
Hell yeah.
Hell to the air. So allow anything that's going to fall down, because you will build it up again, darling. And I reckon I've got time for just one more.
All right, next one is Arcana. Would like to know the current energy in their connection, please.
Okay, let's have a look. Is that Holly there? Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly. We're just about done here.
I know, but we'll do this again. We will definitely do this again. We want to be as helpful as we can.
Some of us just have to run off to work at the moment.
I do. Yeah. I do. I start I work a day job doing readings, and it starts at 9. So I'll do one more, and then I better switch over. But we'll definitely be back to do more readings live, and help where we can. Rightio. So what was the question? Is Arcana?
Yeah. Just would like to know the current energy.
Okay, in their connection. Righto, let's have a look. One. So we've got you in separation, and but this is necessary. The separation is necessary, and the void. Look, yeah. Okay, what have you got for me? One. Beautiful. See these repeating messages? I love it. I love it. One more. Beautiful. What I want to say to you, darling, is that you feels like you're very online with this current soulmate cycle. That is due to have waves crashing this year. Separations, absolutely necessary. What is the purpose of the separation? For you to come into a sense of victory with yourself. It's about you versus you when these energies come around. So the 5 of Cups is an energy to serve you. Now, what I want to say, have a look very closely, because there's your 2 of Cups energy, right? It's held very, very safely in the 5D. Even if you're in separation in the 3D, it's always held safely in the 5D. And this void that exists between you, if there's a void currently taking place, which the Hangman suggests that there is, that you're in a place of pause, the void is there to be able to serve you for your healing and growing. The regret, the remorse, the struggle, all of that is there for your victory. What we've got, the Justice card, like I said, Mercury and Libra dancing. Again, this is why I feel the push for you. If this is your divine masculine energy, look, is he feeling desire for you right now? Absolutely. Now, the Knight of Wands is an energy that does want to come forward. And we're pushing into this. This is Mercury with her, this is how I'm viewing it, communication with the swords, and Libra with the scales is the current astrological setup. And we're about to go through retrograde, so that anything that's out of balance when the planet moves retrograde, and we're in the shadow of it now, so you're going to start to feel the pinch of these energies. So anything that doesn't sit happily in this justice scenario will come up for some level of healing, for some level of transformation, right? You've got the Magician here. This feels to me like you're very much in line with this current soulmate cycle, and I would not be surprised at all if you have this level of the wands energy, which is that desire or that sexual energy that's rising, and we talked about it a lot in the general read there. So anything that you've got that you're probably feeling that energy of desire, and to bring it into a place of victory, like the void is necessary. So don't let the separation, if there's a separation taking place right now, if there's a lack of communication, know that something's happening behind the scenes, and this is what the Magician does. It's got everything that you need to turn these connections around and bring you into that space. Look here, this Mercury Libra. I'm going to call it, this retrograde energy is going to bring some of these divine masculines out of the woods, and we're going to see the transformation. If he shows up and you're going, are you just showing up in desire? That you're probably going to feel like it might not be necessarily genuine. But what I want to say to you is give it half a chance, give it a minute to settle and see what's behind the energy. You don't necessarily have to sink into Knight of Wands energy because it doesn't stick, but you can let it rise, let it settle, and see what's in there for you. Victory is definitely, what you have been doing or what you are doing in your separation phase is bringing you a level of victory, and it's bringing you a level of transformation, even if it shows up a little wishy-washy in the first instance. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap it up there, and I can see that there's a few more questions there, which I would really, really love to get to, but if I don't go to work, then I might get in trouble. So I'm going to wrap it up there, but we will schedule another round of these live readings where we can answer your questions directly, and it's so amazing to talk with the community. Thank you for coming online tonight where you are, if it's tonight, or in the morning where we are. And we really would like to continue to do these sessions live.
Thank you for supporting us and jumping on with us, and hopefully it helped everyone out. And so anyway, again, next weekend we are in Brisbane. If you're in Brisbane,
yes, at the Mind Body Spirit Spit It Out.
That's it.
So if you're in Brisbane, you can come say hello
from Friday the 9th
to Sunday the 11th.
Yep.
And short of that, we will schedule these live readings and try and give as much notice as we can so that we can connect with you in this way.
And to everyone that we just sorry that we run out of time and couldn't get to everyone today. And if you feel free to message us on our other pages or email us, and we could organize something and hopefully
how about what I do is we'll keep a list of it, and I'll record them offline, and we might just post them for the ones we missed.
All right, cool. No worries. Thank you. Hopefully you guys have a great day.
Yeah. All right. It's bye from us for now. See you guys.
Bye-bye.